Hey everybody, it is the with a bullet most popular show on Why We Love Horror. It is Versus. You may not watch it, but we're going to keep making these episodes anyway. I'm JWMaher, and that's my boy Chuck over there.
What's up?
Here for episode 49, my boy Chuck, all the way from your local place where Italians gather. How's it going tonight, Chuck?
It's okay. If I feel a little off, it's because Bougie is servicing me underneath the thing. Oh, God damn it, what did I tell you about using teeth? Stop it. Okay, so I am glad to be here today because holy shit, I am so honored that you are covering my movie. Oh my God, this is so good. I am so glad to be on this show, man. I promise you. I am so elated to be here. Thank you so much.
So he's so filleted to be here because we're talking about
filleted to be here.
So filleted to be here. We're talking about the American Ripper. Heyo.
Hello, welcome. The views of this lake are truly to die for.
What happened to the previous owners?
The bank took it back.
I think we should get it.
We'll take it.
This house is just perfect for us.
Survivors, even he was alive, but we've got to work on him right away.
Go wrong. We had.
I don't know what happened. Like something got into me. Something was controlling my body.
You know you can always talk to me. I'm worrying about you.
Perfectly fine.
Mom, Bobby's just trying to drown me. Let me go, Bobby, please.
For now, you'll call me Henry. And you'll do whatever I want.
I mean,
yeah, something got into me. That's exactly what my wife said on our wedding night. Ow!
Chuck, it's great you could be here. Did you feel that when you and your wife were editing that trailer that maybe you shouldn't have just put the entire movie in it?
We entirely considered it, but we had other things to do than put the entire movie into it because you have to build up suspense. I swear to God. But I am really, really happy to be on the show because you actually covered the inspiration earlier, a few weeks ago, of what I wanted to do here. Because I saw this movie that these distributors made called Telephobia Chapter 2. And I swear to God, this movie was so good, I had to make my own version of this movie. And my God, I wanted to knock this out of the park. Knock it so hard out of the park, I put a baseball bat to my own wife's temple.
Where are you? I need to talk to you now!
It is so great. I fucking love this movie so much. And I am so glad you guys covered it because now we get to talk about my version of a Telephobia 2 chance. Oh, yes. I am so glad to be talking about this. Go on. Ask me whatever you want.
I couldn't help but notice that in the first third of the movie, at least, you kept a song in there, like I don't know, was that song that you wrote and your wife was dancing to, just like regular couples just play guitar and dance. Was that an original song you wrote for the movie, or was that like a song that you just kind of had in the chamber?
I am so glad you asked about these songs, man, because I put my heart and soul into it, which is exactly like what I put into all of my heart and soul into this movie, which is why the movie turned out exactly why it did. Because, oh my God, I had so much to say, and which is so great because I had nothing to actually say in that song. And it's exactly what happened in this movie.
Would you say, okay, like just to give a little bit of plot away. So you play Bobby, I believe, and his wife, and they move into a house that has been the site of not only like an original set of murders, but then the last couple that lived there before you also got murdered. Well, it was a murder-suicide in the house. So you playing Bobby, your wife playing Lola, you move in there. It's obviously like a legacy of serial killers in this house. How do you, like what's your method? How do you get into, like, you clearly do a lot of staring into the middle distance.
So they know that you. No, it's probably something like you, like that guy over there. That guy, yeah, the real good-looking guy over there. When was the last time you were around a lady, huh? I bet you.
And just keeping your eyes wide open. What kind of training and preparation was into playing a role of that depth?
Well, you can't spell method without METH, my friend. We were doing a ton of it on the set, which is really weird because I'm still fat. But it's great because in Florida you can buy whatever the fuck you want, and it's technically legal if you're white. And I am white. My wife is white. No one looked anything. Our Mexican neighbors, they got arrested. I have no idea what happened to them, but we'll go into that later. Still, I put everything. I put all my brain. I put everything on here. I know the last film you covered of mine, I didn't have a script. I'm not gonna lie. I just did a lot of blow. My wife did a lot of blow, and we just kind of went out to the woods and saw what happened. This time I actually wrote a script, and it doesn't actually show I wrote a script. I don't know how it turned out. I didn't really watch the movie again. I just filmed everything in one take and said, no, that's good. I'm a genius. I'm editing this. Let's do this.
Well, your wife's credited as the editor, so maybe you don't remember that she edited the movie, but that's fine.
I mean, she definitely had a hand in editing, if you know what I mean.
You're a car. I'm so glad we have you here on the show. I gotta say, in the first movie, you and your wife were in it, and then you had two characters come in to play kind of like soothsayers, for lack of a better word. This movie, you kind of expanded the roster a little bit. I want to talk first of all about the woman who's playing your mother-in-law in the movie. Kudos for finding a second woman with a Russian accent. Is that your actual mother-in-law?
Hey, Mom.
Hey, honey. I'm just calling you to see how everything is going.
By legal definition, I have to say yes. By legal definition, I mean the PayPal agreement, because I didn't realize when I said buy now, I was going to get a wife. But you know what? I inherited her family by clicking buy now. I didn't realize I wasn't bidding. But you know what? It worked out for the best because I have a partner in crime now, legally speaking. No, my mother-in-law is great. And by great, I mean she showed up and didn't ask for blow.
Yeah, it's weird because I would say in the movie, the mother-in-law character is the reason why I guess Bobby's world begins to unravel because she calls the police.
I'm calling about my daughter. I have been calling her and texting her. She's not picking up the phone. It's just not like her to do that.
She never follows up and actually visits her daughter or sees her daughter. And the police go and the policeman gets murdered.
Mrs. Bernelli?
But they never send more cops. It's just it seems like Bobby got real lucky. What would you say when you're writing the script? Was it just was it supposed to look like he was getting lucky, or is he just like a criminal mastermind chainsawing all the pieces and throwing them into the lake?
I mean, look here, man. I torture and beat my wife on screen for almost 2 hours of a film time.
Sometimes I don't feel tranquil at all.
And she's still my wife. So if that's not lucky, I don't know what is. So did he get lucky? He should be grateful he married such a goddess in the first place.
I also want to say, in the movie, you make pains to mention that Bobby is a lawyer and that he works at a firm. But this movie goes on through the course of maybe 5, 6, 7 days, and there's never any repercussions that he never goes to work. How would you explain that?
Have you ever dealt with a lawyer in Florida? This is exactly how lawyers in Florida work. I know. I talk to mine on a regular basis. He hides all the weird shit that I do on a regular basis. So I base it on him. He gave me a high five, and that was a legal contract.
Fair enough. I want to say you mentioned the movie is 2 hours long. It felt a little, for what actually happens in the movie, felt a little heavy. But I imagine like saying goodbye to that footage is probably like saying goodbye to a child. It's hard to choose what lasts in the movie. So every take of you staring into the mirror like this.
You have to
stay in the movie.
You have to understand, JWMaher. This is exactly what Martin Scorsese dealt with The Irishman. I saw 4 hours of footage and it said, no, I need to keep every single millisecond. No, you need to edit down to 3 hours. Fuck you. I'm keeping everything. I had 3 hours of footage, and my lawyer said, no, you need to edit it down so people actually can stomach this movie. I said, okay, everyone's a bunch of bitches. Why not just have a 3-hour movie? No, I have to put it down to less than 2 hours. Fine, whatever. You'll release it. Okay, great, whatever. I still got final edit. Fuck all of you pussies. Okay, let's get on with it. The runtime, I had to make this my masterpiece. This is my Deer Hunter. This is my Irishman. This is my Casino. I love this movie. Everyone needs to see this movie right now.
Did you ad-lib the dinner scene where you're yelling at the doctor and his heavy-set wife?
You think I give a You think I care about this Nebraska? Do you? Do you think we care about your farm and his background as a doctor?
Have you dealt with that woman for 5 minutes? You would have been yelling at her too. That stupid Moran bitch. I cannot understand why she was even in there. She kept on trying to convert me and my wife, saying, oh, we also do baptisms for the dead. What the fuck do you mean you do baptisms for the dead? I don't understand. I finally fucking snapped. But of course, I was on a lot of ketamine at the time.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. I think we've covered most of the movie. I do want to point out at the end of the movie, spoilers. We do spoil movies here, but you knew that coming in here. So at the end of the movie, your character meets with demise. Wife kills him. Lola kills Bobby. She also chainsaws his body up for some reason. She doesn't call the police. She doesn't call an ambulance, even though she's severely wounded. She chainsaws him up, even though she's not possessed. She goes out on the lake with a bunch of trash bags that she doesn't weigh down so the trash bags go to the bottom. She just throws a bunch of trash bags that are now floating on the lake. Was Lola written to be a fucking idiot?
I mean, if you ever went to my wife's Instagram page, you would be able to answer that question by yourself. Okay. But to be fair, women get 3/5 of a paycheck than men. So she thought, okay, men, after sawing this, the men get 3/5 of the weights needed to sink to the bottom, which is why they're still floating to the top, because alligators don't eat men in Florida. They only eat dumbasses.
That makes sense.
And Mexicans.
All right. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, everyone should check out my boy Chuck's The American Rubber if you have time. If you have 2 hours to spare and you want to do something before you kill yourself, why not? Now we're going to do some ratings. I'll start. There's a positive to this movie. They didn't skimp on the makeup effects. There's a scene where he brands her, and there's a scene where he's just literally kicking the shit out of her, and they don't skimp on the makeup effects. So with that being said, I'm going to go a full 1 videotape. And now Will is back. So Will, what do you think of this movie?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I missed for the last 13 minutes. I'm back. Jesus fucking Christ, guys. I honestly was telling, up until leading up to this, I was literally telling people that Telephobia Chapter 2 was the worst movie, not only that we've covered on this channel, on this show, but the worst movie I've probably ever seen in all time. Honestly, this one might overtake it. I need to think about it, but I might overtake it. I gave this a half star. Somehow, like with the rare times that John and I actually don't agree on a film, I actually give something lower than John does. Because for nearly a 2-hour runtime, over 90 minutes of it is just her screaming and him saying incoherent shit. You can tell that there was a script written. Somehow having a script written made this film worse. I don't know how the fuck that is humanly possible. It is just the weirdest thing ever. As a writer myself, as someone who has written multiple screenplays, having a script present and still having the film suck worse than your previous effort, which had no script, which was basically just written by gumption and blow. It's a feat to behold. But I just can't do this film. There's no purpose for this. It's clear that he saw a Telephobia 2 and thought, hey, I can make a movie more violent and less coherent.
No. What happened was that they named their first movie Amityville Mount Misery Road. And they're like, oh, we should have done an Amityville movie, and then they gave us this.
I mean, it almost feels like this was the sequel that could have been, but they realized that this had nothing to do with anything that they did before, and so they just released it as is. Again, no cuts, no edits. They just decided, hey, we filmed all of this shit. We're going to trim maybe 10 minutes of it, and we're going to release it as is. I can't believe this film was ever released. I can't. This is like lower than typical ITN standards. This is like lower than anything. I'm too drunk.
It's a vanity movie. This is a vanity movie.
But what's that woman that we had a vendetta against?
Oh, Louisa Warren.
Who's
my friend on Facebook now? So Louisa.
Yes. I feel like after watching this, I owe Louisa Warren maybe an apology. Again, I'm a little inebriated, but maybe I owe her an apology because maybe she's not the terrible filmmaker I thought she was after this. Because holy shit, this was abysmal.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it. If you're curious, this movie is on Tubi, The American Ripper. You can check it out with your friends. And if you guys want to be bold, we put a drinking game in the description so that you'll actually, the hour and 51 minutes will just fly by when you're drinking while watching it.
Because, so I know that the steps in this drinking game seem minimum. I need to preface this for legal purposes. Versus, and Why We Love Horror Trivia is not responsible for any hospitalization or alcohol poisoning, or in certain circumstances, alcohol poisoning deaths that may occur if you actually follow the biggest step on the drinking game. Do it at your own peril.
Agreed. Well, if you made it this far in the video, though, like, comment, subscribe, share, go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Go on over to the Letterboxd challenge right there. Schedule's the same. Sunday nights, my daughter does Why Liv Loves Horror. Next week, we'll find a movie for her. I imagine it'll be some lighter fare. Maybe the first Addams Family movie. I have no idea.
I actually have an idea for you, and we'll talk about that off screen.
She'll eventually get to all your favorite PG, maybe PG-13 rated horror movies. Monday is Versus. You're watching it? Thank you. Thursday, Why We Love Horror. And Friday, usually 2 episodes of Why We Love Horror Trivia. Thanks for stopping by the channel, and we'll see you next week. This has been Versus. I'm JWMaher. That's Will Cohen. You know it.